Whoa!
Oh,
Welcome back to the Poss Posse. There was no Poss
hello.
Posse last week because we got trapped in a different sewer that we had to escape from a horde of bears that had cocaine.
Cocaine bears.
Yeah, not just
Someone
one.
flushed it. I guess there was a raid last week. There was a lot of cocaine.
There was so much cocaine. There may not.
So
We may have
Rogue
hallucinated the
tried to get
bears.
some, but
We
Rogue
we
tried to get some, but I told her not to sniff it.
we may have imagined the bears. Anywho, welcome back to the
The bears
Posscast.
may or may not have all had the face of, uh, what's his name?
One of them was yellow and wearing a red shirt and was just killing everyone.
God, fuck.
Blood and honey.
What was, fuck, what's the name of that guy?
Critical?
No, famous actor, Malcolm's dad.
Oh, Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston. All the bears had Bryan Cranston's face, even the yellow one.
I love that you defaulted to Malcolm's dad and not Walter White.
Look, even if the first thought I have of the guy who's Walter White and also Malcolm's dad is Walter White falling to his knees in the middle of the desert, in my brain he still registers as Malcolm's dad.
My when I think of him, I think of the "Say My Name," but specifically from the remix. You know, the really good remix.
I don't think I've heard that one, but I know the
Say
Mommy
my
and Daddy
name.
one.
Yeah, that's it. Say my
yeah.
name. Walter White, you're goddamn right. Hank, say my name. Willy Wonka? What? Walter
No.
White, you're goddamn right.
Right.
What?
My mommy and my daddy and my mommy and my daddy.
That's it. Anywho, we got stories. There's more cringe
Yeah.
than us just singing the Breaking Bad remix.
Yeah.
So do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
Hold on. Let me fish around in my pocket real quick. I'm gonna find a die. I'm gonna find one of my special quiet die that don't make noise when I roll them.
What? But the clickety clack.
Yeah, but then we'd have to go to the accountant and get a budget for sound effects.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what? I know. I'll get some sound effects. Just give me one moment, and I can get some sound effects right here.
All right. Hold
yeah.
on.
Just give me a moment.
Let me know when you're ready, because I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna roll this D6 that I'm treating as a D2.
All right. I'm ready.
All
Tell me when you roll.
right, hold on. One through odds. It's gonna be me evens you.
Okay.
Okay, let me
Now
let me roll. It's a 2.
that did not roll very well.
Hold on. You want me to roll again?
No, it's because the dice that I had. I went into D&D Beyond and unmuted it to do the multiple dice, but
Oh.
I didn't realize I had like
Ah.
the really shitty box dice. I had the I have the mimic dice.
Rip.
Yeah, I have the mimic dice. And they don't clickety clack because they're made of wood.
No.
It's more like dropping a box.
Okay, I've dropped my. I've rolled my incredibly large D6. It's a box that I painted.
Yeah. What did it land on?
It's a 2. It was evens.
All right, so that's you.
Which I think it means you. I took odds.
Okay. All right. Player wasn't upfront about his playstyle. Made it everyone's problem. This is.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
By the way, how do I sound? I'm kind of leaning a bit away from the mic.
You're fine.
Should I move the mic a little closer?
Probably.
How's that?
Yeah, that's good. This was
Alright, cool.
submitted 3 days ago by Silas Tyler, and it has 248 upvotes and 93 comments.
Nice. Whoa.
What?
Whoa.
This isn't my worst horror story, but it was enough to make me want to cut the campaign short and quietly not invite the player anymore. So, my old friend group and I have gone on. So my old friend group have all gone on with their lives and didn't opt to leave room for me in them. That stung, but I get it. We're not kids anymore. It's harder to keep doing the same thing the older you get. Sometimes my every campaign was... What? Sometimes. My every campaign was written for these people, but I wasn't ready to give up on the hobby yet. So, to LGS I went.
Yay, to your local game store. Support local businesses.
Yes, buy all their dice.
Buy all their dice. Be sure to buy please purchase as many booster boxes of Magic the Gathering as your arms can carry.
Yeah.
Wallet be damned.
Take out credit cards. This is not financial advice. Take out as many credit cards as you can and spend all that money on dice. So, anywho, I found a crop of players who...
Get as many Kamigawa Neon Dynasty boosters as you can. Alright, let me...
Sorry.
What's up?
It's,
Were you sneezing?
Yeah, I was sneezing. It's a really bad pollen season.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
It's been so warm. I mean, I think in like next week it's supposed to start cooling back down to being around 60 something at most.
Yesterday it started at like 48 and ended at at 83.
Yeah, like fuck, it was 85 a few days ago.
It was 90 down here.
It was February.
I think
Why is it that hot?
I think it was March 1st when it was like. Anywho,
It's still too fucking hot for this time of year.
Anywho, I found a crop of new players who started playing Pathfinder First Edition. I don't own any Pathfinder 2 books, and I've never cared for 5e, so my options were limited for players. Of course, these folks are welcome at my table. Let's call them Todd, Janet, and Rick.
Oh boy.
Rick is a power gamer, and told me right off the rip. God, what kind of saying? Is that like a British phrase or some shit?
Right off the rip?
Yeah.
Uh,
Never heard that phrase.
let's see. Urban Dictionary says it means from the beginning.
I gathered that, but where does it stem from? What area of the world has that as a phrase? Look, entomology is
like
very important.
Off the top.
I know. I can get that. It's just I've never heard that. It's like Australian, New Zealand, or something. That sounds like something they'd say.
Hold on, someone on Reddit. I'm seeing someone on Reddit ask what it means, and
where it's from.
yeah, nothing is saying about where it's from.
I'm gonna look this up.
Apparently, there's a song called "Off the Rip" by French Montana, Chinks Drugs, and Nor. N-O-R-E? I don't know. I don't know rap.
Brockton and Brightwater. Where the fuck is
those?
Massachusetts? I think. Brockton and Brightwater. Yeah, Brockton and Brightwater are Massachusetts, I think.
I guess.
All right,
Anyway.
so it's a Boston accent. All right. So I'm going to give them a terrible Boston accent.
No.
So Rick is a power gamer. And
Don't.
okay, fine. And he told me right off the rip, he likes to stack up damage and not much else. But will RP a little if the group is into it. He won't interfere with the game just because he's not getting a preferred amount of combat. Alright, okay, an A-OK start so far. I knew what to expect, and he wasn't lying. He sometimes looked bored during the dialogue, but he was still overall very patient and didn't mess with the vibes. Janet is my favorite sort. Her choices and character generation are all in service to the role she decided to play. Hell yeah! She offered me all sorts of backstory to weave into the world and jumped on every hook I put in front of her. I wish I could run a game for 5 of her. Todd is another story. Real sweet, well-meaning dude. Friendly, helpful, and helpful to a fault outside the game. Talented, would pal around. A little about me before I go on. I don't run lethal games. I tell small-time stories about local figures and their lives, and the lives of players who engage in the world. Pretending is the biggest draw of the hobby for me. Murder hobos and power gamers usually don't fit into my games, since the mechanics are in service to the act of playing pretend. Perfectly valid to play that way, but I don't run my games like that, and honestly, I don't care to learn how to make the game more fun for power gamers. It's not about winning for me. I can't get into the headspace to understand players who just want to, quote-unquote, win. Todd claimed to play the same style as Janet. He wanted to play a wizard. Not just any wizard, but a game-breaking combination of feats and spells that Todd probably found on a Reddit post, let's be honest.
I think I can I think I can kind of intuit one of the main ideas behind becoming a power gamer. Probably not one of the main ideas, but it's the one that I can think of.
You just don't want to die?
Well, I mean, there's that, but also, you want to be big, and you want to be strong, and you want to be unkillable, so that you can get to the end of the story.
Yeah. Alright.
I'm not a power gamer, but luckily, I've never had to face any actual player death.
Yet.
I've had several characters die, don't get me wrong, but none of them stayed dead.
Yet. Permanent death is a very real possibility in my campaign, if y'all fuck up.
Oh yeah?
Especially when fighting bosses. You know.
I've only like, plain-ass regular died once. Any other time, it was either plot or character development related. like Delphi becoming a Dampier.
Yeah. Alright.
She kind of had to die before she could do that.
Yeah. So, the man's understanding of the game mechanics is godly. I've never encountered a player before or since I knew the game this well. So I guess that's why he seemingly delights breaking my game. When you know all there is to know, what's left but to tear it down just because. Oh my god, he's a speedrunner.
Oh no!
Fun for him.
I'm just now realizing I left my water bottle on the other side of the room.
Ah, big rip. Fun for him, not for me as the GM. I won't repeat the combination he went with, since I don't want to be responsible for everyone else thinking I'm gonna try this shit. I don't want to be responsible for anyone else thinking I'm gonna try this shit, and wreck their own GM's hard work. Suffice to say, he had the ability to call forth literally infinite number of undead minions that could regenerate as many times as he needed, to wear the wrong kind of wear. Even an army of Tarrasques needed to wear. Okay, no, never mind. That is the right version. Sorry, it's a really awkwardly written sentence.
Oh well.
Okay.
You really need to change like your browser font to one that's easier to read for your dyslexia.
No, it's not the matter of dyslexia. It's a matter of punctuation.
I mean,
and
there's
flow.
also, I mean, yeah, but there's that, but also,
This is a long run-on sentence with no commas.
I know. I'm just saying it wouldn't hurt.
All right. Infinite number of undead that could regenerate as many times as needed to wear an army of Tarrasques down. His only limitation was the availability of bodies. On top of his undead body, he had an AC of around 50 at level 10. How? Well, I should have just house ruled and told him no, but it was legit. He was an expert in syncing out what rules don't say and taking advantage. I could have told him directly to fuck off. But I was fresh from my old group breaking up, so I was hesitant to do anything I thought would dampen his fun and cause me to lose a new group too. Some of his exploits below. Summoning and subjugating genies just to bypass huge blocks of content, including the entirety of Janet's character arc. Holding the party for 90 in-game days to gather resources to build a clockwork golem, with enough power to flatten anything I threw at the party. I had to either watch him curb stomp everything himself or scale the encounters for him specifically, so the beasties way outclass the rest of the party. Releasing every clearly evil thing the party ran across from captivity when applicable, generating a near TPK more than once because the scary demon looked friendly, trying to capture the boss monster's soul so he could force it to reincarnate and torture it to death repeatedly while the party just waits for him to stop. In ethereal form, stripping the clothes off his own sleeping... Oh, I'm not going to read the rest of that sentence. While the party screams at him to stop and let him and get on with the narrative content.
Does he ghost yoink it?
Yep, he ghost yoinks. But
he ghost yoinks?
Oh, no, it's what... no.
No, he ghost yoinks another?
No, it's himself. It's butt stuff. It's ghost butt stuff.
He ghost boinks his butt?
He ghost boinks his butt.
His own butt?
Which wouldn't even work because when you're in ethereal forms, can't interact with things on the normal plane.
I mean, fair, but this isn't D&D.
Right, that's Pathfinder.
I believe you stated this is Pathfinder.
Yeah, Pathfinder 1E. I do not know the rules. It's probably different.
I've never played 1E, but I am currently in a 2E game. 50 AC does not honestly surprise me. I started out with around like 18 or 20 AC.
Jesus.
Like level 1.
Do you know if ethereal forms can interact with solid, things in the material plane?
I don't know. We haven't really dealt with much etherealness so far.
Isn't your Banshee girlfriend?
That was a D&D campaign.
Oh, okay.
This may be set in the same setting, but it's a different camp.
It's a different system.
It's a different system here. This is a different continent. There's different rules here.
Yeah. Okay. So
they don't even certify their adventurers here.
Yeah. So, he cast Feeble Mind on a party member, and when asked why he was doing anything at any given moment, he would just say, "My wizard is stupid. He doesn't know it's a bad idea." His intelligence and wisdom were 22 and 16. Every problem had a complicated solution that took 20 minutes or more to explain. Now, I asked him multiple times in private to just stop clogging up the game by making me sift through the rule book for half the session. Just cast your spell and move on with the encounter. Every single session. When it was his turn in combat, he would start rattling off a list of rules interactions with the same energy as Bubble Bass giving a sandwich order to Squidward. If I ever questioned him, he got irritated. If I ever had any consequences to his antics, he got mad. Tried to subjugate a genie, failed. Threatened the genie, got upset when the genie refused to grant him any wishes. If I ever outright told him I couldn't allow him to do something because it was unfair to the other players or it was too crazy, he got mad. If I ever suggested a less game-breaking course of action that doesn't waste tons of time, he'd get annoyed. I would have kept the campaign going for the other party members and left him out since he made it clear he didn't care about role-playing or story. But Janet, his wife, and Rick... But Janet is his wife, and Rick is his childhood friend. I don't know how to ask only one or two elements of a tight-knit group to not play in my game. So I had the BBEG attack them and bring the campaign to a close. They beat him handily, of course. At least 2 of my 4 players were disappointed with the ending. I don't blame them, but I felt like my hands were tied, and I learned plenty from this experience. Okay.
God.
So, power gamers.
Power gamers.
Yeah, don't be an asshole, okay? It's a collaborative story, not just between the players, but also the DM as well. When you actively seek out to break the DM's game, you are ruining the fun for the DM, which is, the wrong way to play. If someone isn't having fun, and you are actively making sure they don't have fun, then you are
an asshole.
Yeah, unless their version of fun is making others not experience fun. But yeah, no. God, I don't even know what to say. What about you?
God. Pathfinder 1 is
3.5.
Yeah, it's based off of D&D 3.5e. It was made by people who were very disappointed in 4th edition.
Yep. To be fair, disappointed with 4th edition is the default.
True. I wouldn't know though. While I did own a starter, I did own a starter's kit for 4th edition based off of the retro red box. I didn't play it with anyone.
Honestly, that's probably for the best. No D&D is better than bad D&D.
I got it because I was like, I like D&D. I wish I could play it someday. Because, I was in, high school and none of my friends were as big as a fucking nerd as I am.
Yeah.
Except probably, Haley. I know she liked Zelda. I don't know if she's into D&D, though.
I would have absolutely ran D&D in high school if I had the time, but just didn't have the time.
Yeah. Oh well. I lost all the character sheets fucking long time ago.
That's fair.
I think I gave them to my brother because he had friends at work that could do a D&D maybe, and then they never did.
Yeah. Alright. So yeah,
Yeah.
don't be a dick. Don't
be a smarmy little asshole
Yeah.
who thinks that you're better than the DM because you know the rules and he doesn't.
Yeah.
The rules don't matter.
The rules are a suggestion.
The DM is the guy who says what happens.
Yeah.
It is complete, it's a terrible move, but it is completely within the DM's power to say...
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah, rocks fall, everyone dies, or something like... No, your character just fucking... He gets an aneurysm and dies.
Yeah. Yeah, that is perfectly valid. I mean... And
100% if 100% if I was a DM and someone was being absolutely just being an absolute fucking asshole.
Yeah, just kill them off.
Yeah, it's like I'd just be like, all right, I wouldn't do just kill them off. I would be like, hey, hey, shithead, roll con or fortitude or whatever. Just roll one real quick. And if it's literally anything below 18, it's like, yeesh. Ooh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. While the party's walking along, you get a very sudden
headache,
very sharp headache, and then everything goes dark.
Yeah.
You suffer an aneurysm.
Yeah, that would definitely work in my campaign because, well, it hasn't been really touched up upon, but resurrection goes by Dragon Ball rules in my campaign, where you can't resurrect if you're killed by illness or natural causes, basically. So it's illness or old age can't resurrect.
And as unfortunate as much of an unfortunate freak accident as it is, an aneurysm is a bit of an illness.
Yeah, it is a natural cause.
It is a natural cause. It's
Yep.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it can happen.
Gravity is a natural cause. People die from gravity all the time, and it's natural. Yeah, one of my favorite jokes in early South Park was when the cows all turn inside out and die, and it's like, well, it seems like they died from natural causes. Natural causes? They're inside out. And it's like, yeah, being inside out causes you to die.
All right, on to my first story.
Yes.
Posted by user John Hammond JP about 14 hours ago.
Hell yeah, Jurassic Park.
26 upvotes.
I hope it's Jurassic Park related.
I'll attack, unquote, the 12 armed guards.
Oh boy. I'm imagining like the Chris Pratt Jurassic World meme where but instead of the raptors, it's just a bunch of guards.
You're just like points. Just
yeah, pointing spears.
I've been DMing a game of D&D 5th edition for a group of my college friends. It's my first time running a multi-session game. I haven't tried for about 4 years because my storytelling wasn't up to snuff, but since then I've improved dramatically. I'm a pretty paranoid person for some personal reasons, so I'm watchful of other people cheating on purpose or by accident. But this is taking the cake.
And eating it too.
I'm running a big group of 5, which are new/don't understand the system along with one veteran. I adjusted some stuff and made a fair game for people who aren't good at the game yet. Then, one of them pulls out their character sheet. Now, this guy had another character in the game a few before and was pretty beefy. A 20 stat on level 1, 18 plus 2 racial bonus. I took note of it and moved on. I started my game and he sat down with his new character who's also pretty beefy. I noticed his stats were high. Unusually high. Not good. Then it hit me. He's a power gamer. Not just any power gamer. He's a power gamer with no power. By this point, the group is level 2. Blah blah blah, story stuff, and the party split to investigate 2 places, one of which is the dock. Were you like about to make a comment and then I just kept reading?
No. I accidentally bumped my mic with my finger when I was rubbing my eyes.
Oh. Okay. That's right. You use like a headset, don't you?
Yeah, because I don't have room for a snowball.
Get a desk-mounted scissor arm.
I
That's
don't
what
have room on my desk. You've seen my setup.
It clips to the edge.
Mine doesn't have an edge. It's a TV stand.
Some come with clamps. big clamps?
No, I don't have anything to clamp it onto. There's no edge. There's no lip. It's a TV stand.
Oh, is it just like a fucking dresser?
Pretty much.
Get a drill, put a hole in it.
Tempting, but no.
Anyway, he's gone with, one of which is the docks. He's gone with the veteran's rogue character to investigate. Who would sneak down to the lower Who should sneak down to the lower sections? The rogue or the monk? The monk, of course. Well, he gets caught. Obviously, he failed a DC 15 check to sneak onto the boat itself.
That's easy.
And instead of running, I gave him the obvious hint to do it. He turns and faces the guards. The 12 foreign men cannot get caught under any circumstance. They all fell upon him, and a single turn, his level 2 monk was obliterated.
Obliterate that twink.
That's not the end, folks, because now I've seen his new character, and now I've caught him cheating. But it's not even close. Not one stat is under 14.
What the fuck?
The average stat is 16.
Are there ones that are like 20s? You know, things that you can't even roll on 3d6?
I don't know. The average stat is 16.3 to 17.1 at best. He has 2 plus 4 stats. I don't get to know the number because he didn't write them down. I tried confronting him casually, but he seriously thinks I don't know he was cheating. How do I know he's cheating, you ask? You see? Well, it's his own fault. He's obsessed with using Beyond, probably so he can change the rolls as needed. A fun quirk is it tells you how much to boost the initiative. On his physical copy, it's only +1. His dex mod is +4. What does this tell you? He had a 12, and then he casually cranked it up a little, but forgot to correct the initiative.
God damn, that's so good. Stupid.
Yeah, he rolled a 12, and then just casually cranked it up.
Yeah.
Even if that wasn't like that, I know he's cheating because it's a statistical anomaly to get these high stats twice in a row. 2 of the 3 characters he's run have gotten 18s on their rolls, which is a 1% chance of happening once. What I'm going to do, after this goes up, I'm posting in the Discord a little more of a direct message asking for everyone to upload their sheet. From there, I'm going to take the average of everyone's stats and do the averages. It should be around 12. Deviations more than 2 either way. Should be a discussion. And post them together. I will say that guy's average is a lot higher than everyone. If that doesn't work, I'm going to DM him saying that his character stats have been too high across all characters, and I'd like him to re-roll the next session.
Publicly.
Gone. Folks, play fair. As the DM, there's nothing I can throw at the party that'll be fair and fun. It'll be too easy or too hard. Level 2 parties are meant to be rough going and pick up as they go on, not be fighting with ease from the start.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it's not a challenge early on, then it's just boring.
Yeah. Can you imagine how lame it would be if you just, like, wiped the floor with Cornello?
I know, right? Imagine if it only took us, like, 2 rounds instead of, like, 5.
Yeah. Okay, y'all did kind of wipe the floor, but y'all also deduced the things. Alright, can you imagine if y'all wiped the floor with the, fucking, conclave?
Yeah, like...
Sushi died in that fight. Everyone was, like, on the verge of death. Y'all had to play at the number...
me.
Yeah.
Everyone but me was on the verge of death.
Yeah.
Because I'm the only one that has physical ranged weaponry and can just get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to play a numbers game with Corvus's ability to heal multiple people at once.
Yeah.
Like, had to, like... They had to choose which person gets less health. Or else they would all get, like... enough health to still, like, be standing, but also not enough to really make much of a difference.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not even bloodied, don't even bother with me.
Yeah. And then, after it seemed like everyone figured it out, Corvus pointed out that she also needs to heal herself. That was a really good fight, though. That was a fun fight.
It was a great fight. I loved it. It was wonderful.
So was the Archfey. Archfey was fun.
I like that I accidentally blew up Sushi.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. Alright, so, yeah, don't cheat, don't be a power gamer. Well, I mean, okay, if you're gonna be a power gamer, keep in mind what it is the things that you are good at. Alright?
Yeah.
Just being a power gamer, you're often not as good at certain things as classes that are specialized for that thing.
Yeah, like if you're trying to power game being a month, you're probably gonna be mostly Constitution and Dexterity.
Yeah,
mostly Constitution.
Yeah, mostly Constitution. You're there to do a lot of small damage in a fast amount of times.
They won't be far off though. I'm talking like a situation where like 18 Constitution 16 Dexterity, because you know their attacks are still affected by Dexterity, and they need to make sure their attacks hit.
Yeah, the specialties of monks are poison and disease immunity, and the being able to punch really fast. They're there for like hitting people and like acrobatics and shit. They're not necessarily made for stealth. Some are, but probably not this one. Especially when you have a rogue who is specialized in stealthing around and doing rogue shit. There's dope monk shit, there's dope rogue shit, there's dope fighter shit, and there's dope wizard shit. Every class has dope shit they can do. It's not a good idea to try and pretend that you can do the same dope shit as another class. If that makes sense.
One of the dopest things you can do as a rogue, especially even like early on, is getting either through swashbucklery or stealth, getting a critical hit on like the boss level bad guy you're facing.
Yeah, with sneak attack.
And knocking him down, getting a critical sneak attack on him, and getting him bloodied instantly.
That's what assassins are specialized in. The
assassins are specialized in it. They're specialized in doing it stealthily and harder.
That they get automatic sneak attack on the first attack of a combat.
Yeah. I think they deal like an extra bit of damage or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
I haven't played an assassin in a long time, and that was a one shot.
Yeah. Anywho,
it's another kobold though.
Anywho, yeah, there's a lot of each class has its own specialty. If you're gonna power game, keep in mind what class you're playing and work to those specialties.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a wizard, you shouldn't be trying to get into fist fights.
Unless you're a blade wizard or whatever the fuck they're called. Arcane warrior. I don't remember what they're called. Battle Mage.
Unless, yeah, battle mage, perhaps.
Yeah.
Though I am imagining, just imagine if Levere was a wizard instead of a swashbuckler, but basically still the same playstyle because I've got that Sapphire Flame, which means I can buff my AC up by 6 points.
Yeah, but you also still wouldn't be able to, like... You wouldn't be able to stab nearly as good.
No, but I could cantrip all over the place.
You'd probably need the,
I can cantrip and punch.
Yeah, you'd probably need the Battle Mage feat, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, probably.
Because that lets you use cantrips and spells as opportunity attacks.
Nice.
Yeah, and also advantage on concentration.
Right.
Yeah.
On to the next story.
Yes! But that requires us to fight less. It was posted by, Tiny D-Ice Thief, Tiny D-Ice Thief, 3 days ago. It's only got 30 upvotes, but
Word.
the subreddit hasn't been very active in terms of upvotes lately.
Yeah.
There was only like 2 that broke 100.
Oh well.
So, this really should not have went as far as it did, but it did, and now I'm here. This was happening during a Pokemon Tabletop United game, PTU for short, that I had joined by an acquaintance who was running the game online. And I had offered to join... What?
You think we could convince Chalkfee into running the Pokemon?
Absolutely we
Pokemon
could!
RPG?
Yes! Pokemon... or Chalkfee would be down for that.
Okay, but I think she'll hear us say Pokemon TTRPG, and she'll think we're talking about one where we play as Pokemon, a la Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
I mean, she'd also be down for that.
I mean, I'd be down for either.
But I don't know if there's a game system for that.
I don't know either.
God,
It would be interesting. As much as I would love to do it, I don't know enough about like team composition.
Team composition. You want to talk team composition? I beat Pokemon Black and White with a Lopunny, a Joltik.
I thought it was Lopunny.
I've heard it both ways. A Cinccino or Minccino, whichever one's the evolved form.
I think Cinccino's the evolved.
Yeah, okay. A Swoobat. No, a Woobat, not Swoobat.
I need to play Scarlet more.
Yeah.
I gotta get that shiny Paradox Pokemon for Keela.
Fuck. What was the dog Pokemon of Black and White?
The dog Pokemon of Black and White?
Yeah. Because I remember I had one named Sif.
Lucario?
No.
Pokemon Black
I guess
and White.
Oh, Lillipup.
Lillipup.
Yes, I had a Lillipup named Sif. And I had a... what starter did I choose? Oshawott.
Good.
So...
I'll be honest, Pokemon Black and White is the only Pokemon game in which I would choose a water starter.
I chose Piplup in Sinnoh.
Wait, hold on. Was Black and White the one with Braixen and Fennekin and whatever? Or is that a different one?
No. Wait. No. Wait, maybe? It was... No, that had Tedpig and Snivy.
That's right, Tepig and Snipe, because I don't like pigs, kind of.
Yeah. You know, Smugleaf and Bacon. Anywho, team composition. If you hit,
Oshawott's kind of silly looking, but I like the middle evolution.
Oh, I didn't evolve. The only Pokemons that I evolved were Lopunny and Cinccino. I
like Duat, but I think Samurott looks kind of silly. It's weird they go from bipedal to quadruped.
Yeah, and it's equally weird that Snivy went from biped to noped.
Yeah. A lot of people think Snivy doesn't have arms, but he do.
No, they're just tiny flaps.
Not Snivy, Superior.
Yeah, just tiny flaps that are usually behind the like folded arms behind. Like someone drawing anime for the first time doesn't want to deal with arms, so they just have the arms be folded behind the back.
Yeah.
And like the hair over the eyes, the eye, so you don't have to draw two eyes.
Yeah. He gets dumb little leaf arms. Anyway, on with the story.
The arms stay the same size. It's just they don't grow with the rest of the body.
Okay.
So yeah. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So this game happened over the announcement after the announcement of Scarlet and Violet, but before the games were released, so Gen 9 was not a thing for us. There were, however, some custom Mega Pokemon and a few regional variants that were present. The cast is as follows. The DM, who I will be referring to as Professor, nice person, ran a DMPC self-insert who is the professor of our region, kept out of combat and important events. The DMPC was just used to provide a reason for certain character actions, like telling us what could be done in character if we were struggling, or if they ever joined one combat and got totaled. Me, running a fire specialist with a soon-to-be Mega Houndoom and a regional fire dragon Axu. The hell's an Axu? Their goal was to become a gym leader and take over the fire gym from the current gym leader, who
Hold
was
on, let me send you a picture of it. You'll recognize it.
Who was a gym trainer? Who they were a gym trainer under? Fashionista.
Here's an Axu.
Let's see. Let me ask you a question.
For those listening, imagine like
Oh, it's a
like,
funky little guy.
Yeah, imagine I'm just like taking my phone out and like showing her this.
Just gently sliding a Polaroid of an Axu across the table.
Yeah.
Fashionistas, the only class I can remember. Pokemon Tabletop United had classes that worked similar, like small skill trees that you could have up to 4, and they were a contest-focused character. She supported the rest of us, and most Pokemon she had were more defensive. Her characters wanted to open a movie studio and was using the contests to build a reputation and earn money. Well, that's nice.
That's a good plan.
That is actually a really good character. Ranger, a survivalist Pokemon Ranger wannabe, who had been looking for an old friend. Not super important to the story, but they were...
Wait, hold on, I have a question.
What?
You said your only experience with Gen 3 was the remake, right?
No. I played Gen 3, but...
That's right. But your Game Boy broke.
Yeah, my Game Boy broke when I was at the fire gym. That may What?
Did you ever really want to eat the berry cubes?
Of course!
I want to eat them so bad.
I would absolutely eat the berry cubes. I would also eat poffins.
I just look at these fucking berry cubes and I look at them and I think about how deliciously tart they must be.
Yeah. So me breaking.
Especially oranberries.
Oh yeah. My Game Boy Advance may or may not have broke when I was frustrated and slammed my head against it when I was fighting the fire gym leader and kept losing because I refused to grind.
Wait. Slammed your head against it or it against your head?
Yes.
Ah, moved them together, I see.
Yeah, there was contact between my forehead and the screen of my Game Boy Advance.
Oopsie doodle.
Yep. But I ended up saving up money and eventually getting another, but by then I had lost my copy of Pokemon Ruby.
Well, I had Emerald. I have Emerald. I still have my copy.
Oh man, if only you had the thing to play Game Boy games on GameCubes. We would totally be able to play it.
Yeah, unfortunately I had to sell it to a friend.
Yeah, that's rough. But hey, you got money out of it. And an arcade.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Just...
You beat me at DDR because I have fucked up and cringe lungs.
Yep.
God,
I wish I had the money and space for a DDR cabinet. I would boogie all goddamn day, let me tell you what.
God, if we could hook that, I would definitely. I was gonna say I would definitely watch the DDR for like the stream, but then remembered it's mostly copyright music.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah.
the Ranger was looking for their friend. They're not important, but they were present. The Power Battler, hyper focused with his team build as if there was VGC next week. The main issue of the story. The other OG member besides DM and Fashionista. So, there we were, after a few simple sessions had gotten past into the stages, have gotten past the intro stages, and had begun to move the plot along. We had gotten some progress towards the individual plots and the wider narrative, learning of the potential evil team causing trouble, basic, but most of us are relatively new, and it was fun. Looking for something called the Type Disc. If you read the Pokemon manga, you might remember a disc that used the gym badges as a plot point of the Red and Blue era of the story. It was similar to that. Yeah, I think that's the disc that ended up summoning Lugia, but the team was trying to summon Ho-Oh, and were disappointed that they got the wrong bird. Along the way, or the Elite Four were disappointed because the Elite Four were evil in the manga.
Yeah.
Along the way, the Ranger learned that their missing friend, an archaeologist, may have been kidnapped by the team, so the four of us had planned to go break into the hideout and look for clues. But then we ran into an issue. My character was not only my character was not the only gym trainer for the fire gym, and had 4 badges under his belt, making him relatively senior at the gym. And he had some vacation days, as the rotation of trainers just hit, and he was off for a while. Fashionista, the last of the 4 of us, with a profession, had to be at certain contests, as stated in the contract she signed way back in the beginning of the game. Most of the sessions had time gaps between them, where our characters had trained and worked or did out-of-game activities, with the odd one shot or one session with the DM over certain things, like one of my gym battles as spectators were not allowed in the gym, or a few of the Fashionistas contests. This threw us in a dilemma. Do we skip the contest and hurt our fashionista's chances at her future work prospects, or wait, potentially missing a chance to rescue the ranger's friend?
Why is this an argument? Obviously, we stormed the hideout.
Power Gamer asks, throwing the rest of us off guard. Because my contract says I need to be there, and I cannot miss it without risking the loss of better employment or advancement later, the fashionista responds. The conversation moves towards working out a potential plan, and the interjections of the Power Gamers die off, but this was the first red flag. Second comes the very next session. We still face the same problem, the session happening right where the other left off, but having the time to work something out, I had an idea. Let's get the gym involved. If we have more people, it'll take less time and we can make the contest deadline. The ranger had also gotten the idea to call a few backup rangers for help, and the fashionista agreed. We had planned to propose the idea to the respective groups and then spend our time helping the fashionista, so we had a window of time before the contest and we could raid and get to her contest in time. It seemed like we were all in agreement, and in turning the raid into a timed mission sounded like fun, and we were fully prepared, except for one player.
No, we can't do that.
The Power Gamer began to yell at us over the call, which, for having some people quieter than others, meant the volume was higher than most of us, was not appreciated.
If we have the NPCs, they'll make it so we get less XP and it's more boring.
What are you talking about? It's the best way to get both tasks done with minimal losses. We need their help, dude. Stop making it out to be so bad. This game isn't just combat. Stop worrying.
No, we need a fight. The contests are stupid anyways. Nobody cares about them.
After this, the argument started to heat up, and the DM stopped the session. It was about 2 weeks.
Big oof on that guy's phrase.
Yeah, it's
considering that's one character's entire deal.
Yeah, more on that later. It's been about 2 weeks since then, and the Ranger and myself and the Fashionista have all agreed that if Power Gamer causes this game to break down, we will pretend the ending is a happy one for all these characters. Still waiting on the DM since they went AWOL after this arguing, and they won't talk about the game. But they have talked to us in casual conversation about other things. Hopefully things will get better. Alright, so, yeah,
no, to me, that sounds like the DM has now dropped the campaign.
Probably, or is debating on the best way to kick the Power Gamer in a way that won't cause, too much disruption, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I looked in the comments to see if there was any kind of update, but there's not any update yet. So, first of all, don't shit on another character, another player's, entire gimmick. Like,
yeah,
saying nobody cares about Pokemon. I fucking loved doing the Pokemon contests in Sinnoh. Those were some of my favorite parts.
I didn't love them, but I thought they were fun.
Oh, man. I focus on that a hell of a lot more than I did the gyms. They were my favorite part.
I focused a lot on the berries.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. But the Puffins are, like, an integral part to the contest, considering, they boost the contest stats.
I mean, I never played Black and White, but there was contests in Emerald.
Yeah. Well, Puffins were Sinnoh, Diamond and Pearl.
I know, but I'm a Hoenn babe.
That's fair.
You can tell when I enter the room due to the large amount of trumpet MIDI.
Yeah. Yeah. God, I love the horns of Hoenn. So yeah, if 3 people are trying to figure out a way to do the mission and still have time to do the contest, It's probably a good indication that people do actually care about the contests.
And that's 3 out of, like, what, 4 or 5 people?
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, as in this man's the only odd one out?
Yep. This person's the only one that... It is one of my biggest... It's one of the things that annoys me the most about people like this is whenever they think their opinion is the universal opinion when they're actually, in the minority of thinking about that kind of thing. Like, I'm never gonna say that nobody cares about Metroid Prime, because, people do care about Metroid Prime, but I will still, I can voice my opinion on how much I hate it without saying nobody cares about it.
Exactly.
So yeah, and also, this guy's a fucking power gamer, which is why he wants to get all the XP. So, don't be a goddamn asshole, and don't be a power gamer if doing so inhibits the fun for everyone else.
Exactly, or I'll have to destroy you.
Yes. You will get your throat, ripped out. Yeah.
Listen, possums may be small and adorable, but they've also got razor-sharp teeth.
And a bite strength stronger than an alligator. I actually don't know if their bites are stronger than an alligator, but they are sharp. The only thing...
Strength, 27 times the strength of a alligator, proportionally.
Oh, is that actually real?
No, I'm just making up bullshit. Should I read the too long don't read at the that this one starts off with, or nah?
Probably skip the...
I'll skip it.
Wait.
So here we have... What's up?
Hold on. A possum's bite strength is 45 pounds per square inch, which is pretty fucking strong for their size, but also a far cry from the 17,000 pounds per square inch that a gator has.
Do you know how many pascals that is?
No.
That's 31. Or that's 310,264 Pascal.
Impressive. Alright, so yeah, I say yeah, skip the TLDR.
Yeah, okay, hold on. I'm very curious now to see how many Pascals it takes to break a femur.
Less than that.
It takes 205 million.
Oh. A bit more.
It's a little bit more.
Yeah.
Anyway, this one is called Split Personality Player. Not exactly the most woke of titles. I have several friends with DID. Anyway, posted 6 days ago by user Splurm.
Hell yeah! That sounds like something we'd name a Zelda character.
Yeah. 84 upvotes.
Nice.
Apologies for the length. And it is decently length.
Nice.
Hi everybody, longtime DM, first time posting on this sub. So like the title says, I'm having a bit of a player issue. One of my players, let's just call them Cleric, I know they peruse a lot of RPG subreddits, has been getting on my last nerve. I run a few campaigns with them, and we were playing together in another friend. This issue has been brewing in me for a while, and I just need to get it out into the ether. I met them when I moved into the house we both live in. After a few months of living together, they saw me writing stuff for my campaign, and we got to talking about TTRPGs. They seemed pretty chill, and I probably got on better with them than the rest of the housemates at the time. Eventually, I asked if they wanted to join a group, which myself and a friend who died from cancer a couple years ago formed years ago when we were in school together, which had up until that point never really had any issues. They said yes, and the problems started immediately. Essentially, they get pissy anytime something doesn't go their way. I mean, anything.
Oh no.
It started pretty tamely at first. They would pout and go quiet for a while if something didn't work out for them. However, it has built up over the last 6 months until a big blow up happened, and now my group is all but disbanded. For example, there's a merchant that shows up in my main campaign. He was originally only supposed to be a one-off meeting, just someplace for them to spend their starting gold before heading out on the quest. Anyway, I played him as very charismatic, and I started making a joke that he was going to be integral to the story down the road. It led to some fun banter, and he's since become a recurring character. I love it. I love it when we manage to just meme a character into sticking around.
Yeah. In my first campaign had a character like that, Bethany Ezda.
Yeah. Just a character that you expect to use just like once, and then everybody's like, I bet that's gonna be important.
Yeah.
And then they ask like, oh, what's up with this guy?
Yeah.
Like I have no doubts in my mind that Lincott is gonna be important sometime down the line.
I have plans for him, but his stuff is probably closer to like level 12.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
He sees the groups as his beloved customers, so he gives them items a little cheaper. And the last interaction they had with Cleric tried to trade a simple standard weapon for something of big value, no gold with it. It was a pretty much impossible trade, which didn't matter much considering they rolled a 2 on diplomacy.
Oh boy. Sounds like Pathfinder.
Probably. Then they started making comments about how they're never allowed to say anything, as if it was somehow my fault they rolled that low on an impossible trade. I'm talking about a 3 GP item for something worth 500. Cleric even started getting aggro with the merchant, lowering the group's affinity with him. I use an affinity system. It's nothing revolutionary.
Oh nice, like Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, it starts at 0 and goes up and down based on interactions. 0 being the NPC has no real feelings about you one way or another. Go below that, and they dislike you. Far below that, they actively hate you. Too far, they will start to plot your demise or outright attack you. Go above, they do like you, etc., etc. The group had put significant effort into getting his affinity up, so everyone was pissed off by this. I'll be honest, the points are awarded and taken away as though it was a Hogwarts point system. It depends on how I feel at the interaction at the moment. Bleh. Not the best example to use, but an example that I understand. Basically, just fucking...
A point measuring system to see how well someone likes particular members. I have something like that in my campaign. It's most effective when looking at how merchants feel about Corvus.
Are you telling me your game has a hidden reputation meter that you haven't told us about?
Yeah? I mean, it's fairly common sense.
I mean, you do always talk about how the merchants talk.
Yeah. They're part of a guild. Word travels fast between them. That's why if you piss one off enough to get blacklisted, that's gonna be really fucking bad.
And that's why we helped Tavel get his gunpowder.
Yes. I mean, he wouldn't have blacklisted you if you said no, but it did certainly help get you in his good graces.
Yeah, it wouldn't have dropped the meter, but it did certainly raise it.
Oh yeah. Especially since, you know, most likely wasn't just the gunpowder.
Yeah, I mean also one of the cities that I operate in was saved by these guys. They seem pretty cool.
Yeah. And they spend lots of money here.
And also, maybe the first people to realize that he's running multiple. One of the first people to what?
No, everyone
other than in the guild.
No, the guild was the only one that didn't know. Everyone else just kept their mouth shut.
Everyone else kept their mouth shut until the guild found out.
Yep. Then he had to start paying his goddamn taxes.
So it is easier for people to keep their mouths shut when, you know, the average person, even the average magical item buying person, probably isn't going to be doing as much shore hopping as.
Yeah, that is fair.
Really only just sailors and adventurers.
Yeah, but then again,
And pirates, but you know, he's a merchant.
Yeah.
Money's money, and who's to say that weird blue woman with the missing arm wasn't just an adventurer, like she said.
Or that elf with the green hair. But yeah, no.
What is an adventurer if not a bandit with a cause?
Exactly, a state-sanctioned bandit. But yeah, no. The harvesters would also they definitely knew, because you know they do a lot of short hopping too.
Oh yeah. Well, they're adventurers, like
exactly.
I said.
They're monster hunters.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, back to the story.
Back to the story. It depends on how I feel about the interaction at the moment. I don't declare how many points they have with anyone, but I do tell if they've gone up or down based on the interaction that they ask. At the last session, one of the guys picked up a cursed item. The item is very powerful, but continued use will start to drain charisma from the player until they're dead. It also compels the cursed person to use it in dire situations on a further failed will save.
How do you die from... Okay, I know you die when any of your attributes hits 0 points. How do you die from 0 charisma?
There's more to charisma than your good looks. Maybe they just become stinky to death.
They just start rotting and falling apart.
Yeah.
The sun burns their very existence.
Yeah. The item also compelled the cursed person to use it in dire situations on a further failed will save. For instance, their back is against the wall and they might die. It was made by a lich. It's kind of like a horcrux or a secondary phylactery. It sucks out your soul over time to feed the lich. Hence the declining charisma. Basically, he eats your soul and you become a lifeless husk.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's also very powerful. One of the players picked it up and tried to beat the save and failed. I explained what the item does and how it affects psyche, but before I could say the downside, Cleric exclaimed that they would try to take it. They grabbed it, and I asked them to make the same will save. They got 27. More than enough to not feel compelled by the item. The item is unusable by anyone not affected by the... The other player attacked because that's what the item does. It makes you feel like anyone that would try to take it away is an enemy. That's what I meant by how it affects the psyche. Cleric proceeds to sit in a huff and makes comments about how this is other players' story and everything revolves around them. It doesn't. The closest to it being like that other player's story, is that the party got wiped a while back, and only that player surviving, and only because he used his last spell slot and dimension doored away after everyone else went down. That player has since made it his goal to take revenge on the lich that killed his friends. Great. That is a great way to deal with a single survivor TPK.
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing that lich is the one that made the sword.
If it's just like half the party, then it's like, whatever.
Yeah. But a single survivor, that's like really fucked up. You have no one to lean on.
But yeah, it's probably the same. It might be the same. It might be a different lich.
How often are there campaigns that have 2 liches?
Does it count when one of your players is a bit of a lich?
No.
Does it count when one of your players is an ancient, incredibly powerful lich who has kind of lost his memories a little bit?
No.
He remembers some things, but he's hazy.
2 non-party affiliated liches.
Yeah. One of my campaigns had that. To be fair, one of the liches, was a very new lich. I think we might have literally been his first death.
Okay. Did he like
You see,
study the works of the other lich?
no, they were not. They were not. They were not related in any way.
Oh, okay.
One of. Wait, no. I'm mixing it up with a lich from a different campaign of the same group.
Oh, okay.
It was a phylacteryless lich.
Oh, the kind
No.
that like bound their soul to magic itself?
Yeah, the kind that die if you kill them.
Yeah.
They're just functionally immortal. They're not
A pseudo-lich.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he
An adventure
To be
zone
fair-
lich.
to be fair, he was still an incredibly powerful wizard.
Yeah.
Powerful enough to start plunging the surrounding area around his floating tower
Hell yeah.
into ice. Like
It-
we were down
Any
in a
white
in a-
dragon
we were
could
down,
do that.
We were down in like a deserty, like not exactly desert, but a warmer place, and we realized it was getting unseasonably cold for the middle of summer. Oh,
Yeah.
we killed him, and then his tower started falling, and we were like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, that tends to happen. Alright.
All right,
Yeah, let's continue.
yeah. I mean, these are two examples, but it's all the time. They're also a rules lawyer, and will call out other players and myself all the time. But when anyone else sees cleric or when anyone else calls cleric out for using something wrong, they get aggravated and like there was a spell someone was trying to use in sessions back. It was a fantastic killer. They were asking if they could use it in a specific way, and cleric made a stink of saying about how that's not the spell works. Then 30 minutes later, they tried to use the spell the same way, and when the player and my quoted them on how they said the spell worked, cleric got thick with us and left the table.
Ugh. The worst kind of power gamers. The ones that ignore the rules when it's convenient.
Yep. Even in games where I'm a player with them suck. In a campaign run by another person, I'm the only tanky boy, and we use item. Everybody else's characters struggle to simply carry their own gear, so I made a pure strength build champion, using my best stat for strength and second best for charisma. This means I carry pretty much everything, so I just write down all the things we find regardless of whether people are using them or not, because it'll probably end up in my backpack at some point or another. I am pretty beefy, so I never really feel the need to take magic items. I'm kind of trying to get the squishies less squishy first, so I let everybody have first pick. But because the most unused stuff is in my inventory about once a session, I get accused by cleric of hoarding items.
God, if that happened, just give the entire backpack to the cleric. Let them try to hold it.
I have experience in being the party item dump a
Yeah.
good couple times.
Like in my
Just because
campaign.
Yeah. So in my first campaign, I've mentioned him many times before. Harlech, my college of jesters, bard, tiefling bard. He won a magical loot in a battle of the bards.
Oh yeah, I remember
Which
you told
was,
me about this.
Which is sponsored by a local king from the Feywilds. So he won an enchanted golden loot that gave him +1 on his spells. You know, it was a +1 spellcasting focus, and also the chamber of the loot. I don't know what the actual phrasing is. The actual word is. Let me just
The hole.
quickly.
The acoustic.
Not just the whole thing, like the ribs. The soundboard separated from the ribs on a hinge.
Ah.
It opened up. The bottom of it.
It's called a sound
Basic-
hole.
Yeah, but we didn't just shove the strings aside and put things in the sound hole.
I mean, you could have. That would be
No,
cool.
we couldn't have. Those type. I'd have to like unwind I'd have to like loosen the strings.
Yeah, okay.
I'd have to get it out of tune, and then I'd have to retune it. It's such a bitch to deal with. Plus, it just hinges open anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, not only that, but we befriended a forest troll. We helped get his pet direwolf back to him. So he gave
cute.
us not only a troll whistle, which we could use to summon him for aid. We used it when we got out of the Shadowfell, and he had a beard and he looked cooler.
Hold on, you cut out a bit.
Sorry. How am I right now?
You're good. You came out of the Shadowfell?
Yeah, we were stuck in the Shadowfell for a few days, and we came out. It was 6 months later.
Oh my.
Yeah, we used the troll whistle to summon him, and he was like, "Oh, hey guys!"
Nice.
And then we were like, "Hey, where are we?" And then he like helped us figure out where we were, because we were in the middle of a goddamn random
You were in the middle of a goddamn random ass what?
forest.
Oh, okay.
Also, Santar rode over us and gave us presents.
Yay, Santar!
Santar,
Yeah.
he's a buff, shirtless Santa Centaur.
Yeah, is his lower half reindeer?
No, it was a horse.
Damn it! You have one job.
It might have been a reindeer. I'm not sure. The DM never really drew him. He just showed us a Christmas ornament that he based him off of. The Loot was based off of a bracelet charm.
Oh, I'm looking at the ornament
Anyway.
right now.
So anyway, yeah. So I had the Loot, which was an enchanted loot that opened up to be a bag of holding.
Hell yeah.
From the troll, we got the troll whistle, and also a money belt.
Oh my.
The money belt was a leather belt with a large brass buckle with slots on the top that you could fit in gold, platinum, electrum, silver, diamonds,
Yeah.
any
currency.
and yeah, well, getting gems in was a little messy. Getting gems out was powder.
I mean, that's really useful if you're if you need spell components that call for like emerald powder or powdered diamonds.
Yeah. Though the DM did rule that any powdered diamonds produced by the belt would be tinged with gold, silver, or copper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So not only did I have the party inventory, I was also the party bank.
Hell yeah.
I was targeted by a ghost pirate for having all of the money.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, at least you're
He wanted me for his skeleton crew.
Oh.
For my greed, you see.
I like that. Hey, at least you're at least now in my campaign, you're just the party inventory, since the captain is the party financier.
I'm not the captain. I'm not the party inventory. I'm the party closet.
That's fair. Yeah. All right, on to the story.
On with the story.
Sorry, the story is causing a lot of. This story is really good for like reminiscing about the good things we enjoy about our campaigns.
Yeah. Because we see how bad it can be, and then we're like, I had a good experience with that kind of situation.
Yeah.
They play a dex-based cleric in that game, so they do a lot of healing. But as a champion, I can also heal people. However, anytime I go to heal an NPC, they teleport where we are. Like, for example, we were on downtime in the city. They by them. No one had an issue with that. Downtime's perfectly okay to go do your own thing. And the rest of us went to meet an NPC who had been babysitting our group's adopted children. long story short, don't worry about it.
Don't worry
Or
about
long
it.
story, don't worry about it. On our way, a cart was toppled and some people were hurt, so I went to heal them. All of a sudden, Claret burst out with, "I use my angelic wings to float down towards the wounded as I heal them. I say you are under Iomedes' protection. I will let no harm befall you." The whole table goes quiet, and the DM says, "You're not there. You said you wanted to go to church. It's on the other side of town." They started sulking and complaining that they shouldn't be excluded because they chose to be somewhere else.
No, you absolutely should be excluded if you choose to be somewhere where the others are not.
They chose to leave. They excluded themselves.
Yeah.
The DM, already fed up with this behavior, just said fine and moved on, even cutting the encounter short just to be done with it. Thing is, the DM had something planned for them at the church that they never got to do because of this. Another time, we were helping a group of miners explore an old mine shaft. Ooh, I hope we get to do that. I like underground fun.
There's definitely some mines in McCreer
Ooh.
that y'all could explore.
We'll have to see if you lost mines of Fandelver us there. Maybe there's reports of kidnapped children. Maybe goblin infestation. Who knows?
How does an abandoned diamond mine that's supposedly haunted sound?
Ooh, nice. Sounds like someplace to get good shinies. An old mine shaft. It had been overrun decades before by something. We asked about what happened, but most of the people that were there were either dead or senile. While exploring, we fell down a shaft and got separated. The DM, trying to be nice, made it so both groups had someone capable, essentially splitting up me and the cleric, and having everyone else fall based on dice roll. We all have to make reflex saves when we're about to hit the ground, and a couple people in each group got hurt. I went to heal the peeps in my group, and cleric cuts me off saying they'll do it. DM says, No, you're not there. You don't know where they are. They argue that they'll use an area heal to heal them the walls of the mine. The DM says, you can try, but I'll tell you now it won't do anything and you'll waste a spell slot. They then say they're going to fly back in the shaft and find where to split off for the rest of the group. Two of the people with them were hurt pretty bad too, and seriously needed a heal before we pushed forward. They just completely ignored them. They were too fixated on not letting me.
Oh, what an asshole.
They were eventually convinced to stay with the group they were with, and after a session of battling large insects and abyss-tainted creatures, we finally find what caused the mine to be abandoned. A Balor! A Balor!
Hell yeah! I fucking love Balors.
I know it sounds cheesy, they dug too deep and all, but you gotta love the classics.
Yeah, they're cliches for a reason, because they work.
Plus, we'd been playing this campaign for years at this point, and never come up against one. Plus, the DM really set the mood. The cleric, seeing this creature, turned and ran. Not from any fear effects, I don't think. I don't think Balors have that in Pathfinder. It was clearly because they were still salty about earlier, and they were forced to use all my heals all on the way there to keep everyone in my group alive. They tried to say it was in character for them, but they're literally a cleric of Iomedes, a deity currently fighting against demons at the World Scar. It was even in their backstory they hate demons and will aim to kill them no matter what. The DM just got up and left.
That's fair.
It led to everyone getting upset and shouting at Cleric. Cleric then tried to kick everyone out of our house, which started me shouting at Cleric. I'm a pretty easygoing person. I'm pretty sure that was the first time anyone in our group saw me mad.
When the nice guy gets angry, the devil shivers.
The rest of the group left, and the DM hasn't run the campaign since. Heartbreaking, as I'd been the forever DM for years before he started this campaign, and honestly, this guy had a joy for DMing that few have, and it made his game so fun. Honestly, out of the two of us, he was the superior DM. Cleric has since apologized to me, And we've tried to play a couple of times since. It's not the same, though. We don't have the flow we used to. Honestly, I'm hesitant to try and set up another session. We're kind of friends. I use that term loosely. We're not rowing anymore. Rowing? RPing? I don't know. Outside of the game, and I never had... We're only kind of friends outside of the game. I never had any issues with them before I introduced them to my RPG group. They never act like this out of the game. I seriously don't understand. It's like a total personality shift as soon as we sit down to play.
Oof. So...
There's more.
Oh,
there's more. There's a little bit more. A little bit more.
Alright.
I found out a couple days ago that they never apologized to anyone else. And when I asked them to, they blew up again and stormed off to their room. As I said, we live together and most of our games are... Now I feel like the group is falling apart and it's all because I introduced this person. We've lost two players since the big blow up, and another player has only shown up once since. I seriously need some advice on how to handle this. They get so standoffish whenever I approach them about anything to do with the games. I can't even set up the games to play at the house without them just sitting down and assuming they're welcome to join in. I also can't tell them not to because it's their house too. I've been trying to move on, so maybe we can cut them out of the group, but I've been trying to move, so maybe we can just cut them out of the group. But all the places available are way out of my price range. Also, I should say, most of the group are in our mid to late 20s, and Cleric is in their 40s.
Oh my god. So, yeah, don't be a power gaming jackass once again. This has been the power gaming special. Don't try, like, don't insert yourself into scenes in which you are not present.
I'm looking at the comments.
Trying to get an update.
Yeah, I'm looking through it to see if there's any updates in the last 6 days. He said, OP said, Splurm said that he's or there. I'm not sure of pronouns for Splurm. Splurm says they're gonna try to convince the group to play online for a while, which gonna be a hard sell considering the big draw for playing was getting together with everyone, having a few brews if the mood was right.
Maybe they can try to see if there's any local game stores that have some tables available.
I'm scrolling through. This is bad, but this is far from DID or even borderline DID. This is just entitlement.
Yeah. So, basically, don't insert yourself into scenes and don't neglect, neglect.
Update on that cursed item.
Oh, what happened?
Someone said, something I'm curious about. The item's very powerful, but continued use will start to drain charisma from the player until they're dead. Are we talking permanent stat loss? Can someone explain to me? Because I don't get it. What's a party supposed to do with such an item?
Remove curse, greater restoration.
That would add to their enjoyment of the game? What's the DM's intention when creating such a thing? OP's reply. Not permanent. It simply takes a remove curse and some rest.
Oh, okay. Even easier than what I was expecting. I was expecting remove curse and then greater restoration. That's how I'd rule it.
My party, for the most part, like the RP more than the combat, and they always seem to items that allow them to act out of the character. Like someone being charmed, like someone having charmed them when they left the pub to go take a piss. I messaged them or slipped them a piece of paper about what they were commanded to do. Then they come back in, suddenly acting irrational. It's pretty much just a glorified RP prop.
Yeah. You know what my favorite thing to do in terms of, like...
And that's it from the OP.
Yeah.
No updates.
You know what my favorite thing to do?
Best of luck, Splurm.
So in my first campaign, I had one of the players be dominated and given, like, a command, but also they had their memory modified to not even remember that they had it. And
Yeah.
and so the command was like lying in the back of like a sleeper agent, lying in the back of their head until they got to the situation in which the demand is relevant.
Yeah.
And so then they have
oh
the compulsion
God.
to do it and no idea why.
Oh God.
What?
Nick Fuentes is trending on Twitter.
Gross. Anywho, so the lesson to learn here is don't be an attention-hogging power gamer, and that's for all the stories. All these stories involve power gamers who want to be the center of attention and cannot stand other people having the limelight or specialization that, you know? And so, once again, it's don't be an asshole. It boils down to that. I don't have anything else to say. What about you? Any final words?
Cursed items can be fun.
They can. They can definitely be. I have ideas for cursed items.
I sent you an idea of a cursed item.
You did.
I did.
I am going to not say it in case I end up using it. I may or may not end up using it. I'm still on the fence. But I do have ideas for cursed items. I'm just waiting for the moment to
hide it in the relative country. Put it in some sort of treasure vault or something.
Yeah, I have an idea for a generic.
Maybe out in the open.
I have an idea for a generic cursed dagger. You know, the kind that as soon as you grab it, bad things happen. I'm just waiting for the perfect setting to put it. It is going to be one that is obviously cursed, like, you know, black metal, a ruby in the hilt, shaped like a snake or some shit. You know, the kind where you look at it, it's like, yeah, that's cursed.
A curved blade that always looks well oiled or something.
Yeah,
like slick and crude oil.
Has a thin black mist coming from where it's impaled in the goddamn table or whatever.
Yeah, just maybe hovering 3 feet above it is a neon sign that says cursed.
Or maybe it's in the clutches of a skeleton.
The skeleton has angry eyes on it.
Drawn it.
Drawn on.
Yeah.
It has angry eyebrows drawn on it by the dagger.
Yeah, plot twist, when you unscrew the bottom of the hilt, it turns out it's just a Sharpie.
An actual permanent permanent
God.
marker.
That would be the worst. I am not giving y'all an actual permanent marker. That is, I'll give you a deck of many things.
It doesn't matter if you die, it stays on your bones.
Only a wish spell can get rid of it. But I will give you, I have given you a deck of many things. I am not giving you an actual permanent marker. Because I feel that would be far more destructive than the deck of many things.
If we were given an actual permanent marker, you can imagine the fucking dumb shit tattoos that we're gonna draw on each other that's gonna stay on our skeletons.
There would be so many dicks everywhere. Y'all would draw dicks everywhere.
Just imagine this idea for it, though. You draw a shape on the ground. Someone tries to dig it up. It goes down. It's still in the dirt.
Yeah.
You dig more. It's still there.
You decide to just like cover it up, put a stone on top of it. It's on the stone the next day.
You build a house on top. It's on your roof.
It's on your roof, or it's on every floor and the roof. It bleeds through.
It bleeds through.
It bleeds through. It bleeds through everything. Only a wish spell can get rid of it. Anywho, That's gonna be it for this episode. You know what would be
No,
fun next?
I can think of a good use for it.
Drawing on the
Teleportation
forehead of
circle.
traitors.
Teleportation circle.
Well, no, because you need magic chalk for that.
You can put magic chalk over it.
Yeah, I guess. Or I think that might end up making it that would probably make the teleportation circle not work, since it would bleed through over the magic chalk.
True.
Anywho, you know what would be fun next week if we looked at some of D&D Beyond's homebrew items. You know, take a break from the Reddit cringe and look at some of the D&D Beyond homebrew cringe.
Look at some of the lower rated items.
Yep. All right. So that's gonna conclude this week. Check out some of the other stuff on the channel. As mentioned, we do play a couple D&D campaigns. I run a campaign called World of Tapir. As mentioned, it's the one with Tavel. It's the one with Lencott. I don't know if we mentioned Dr. Tross, but he's in it. Those are all NPCs. Biddy plays a kobold named Levere, and it's the one where they have a deck of many things that the captain has stowed away and told Levere to not let anyone know that it exists.
The captain and the first mate are the only people on the ship that know about the deck's existence.
Yep, and it is under lock and key. Literally.
Levere has no idea what it is. He just saw that it was like it's about the size of a pack of cards.
Yeah, it's a leather pouch with some cards in it.
Captain said, I opened it up and I saw that it was like paper, and I didn't pull out a card. I pulled up all of the cards at once, and I was like, and I just like.
No, you didn't pull out any of the cards.
I didn't pull out any cards.
You just looked at it and was like, hey, that's a deck of cards.
Yeah, I looked at the fact that it was a bunch of cards, and I was like, oh, huh, cards.
Yeah, and the captain.
And I closed it up and put it back in the box.
Yep, because despite the captain being kidnapped at the moment and you technically being the captain, I mean, she still gave you an order when she was in charge to not do anything with it.
She said it's bad news. I trust her.
Yeah. So, there's also Curse of Strahd that we're playing. We're currently in the Amber Temple. Also, there are a couple Let's Plays. Biddy just started her Metroid Prime playthrough.
Yeah.
Go check that out. I complain about Metroid Prime a lot. And also, we discuss Tommy Tallarico.
Tommy Tallarico and how much his mother's proud of him.
Yeah, his mother's so proud of him.
His mother is so proud of him.
Yeah.
She's so proud of her little Tommy.
Yeah. Also on the channel, there's Clive and Wrench being played by my boyfriend Scraps. There should also be Sonic 3D Blast, which I am playing.
Oh, you finally decided on the game?
Yeah. Also on the channel, there is Tabletop Thursdays, in which we played Red Dragon Inn for this week. And I believe that is everything on the channel at the moment.
I just got a wrong number call.
Oh man, that's weird.
Yeah, I think San Diego. I picked up the phone. Buenos dias.
Oh man.
You have a wrong number, and then they hung up without saying anything.
Yeah. All right. So,
Or,
oh man, I had an idea for a comment challenge. I don't remember what it was.
comment challenge of the day. Do you think the engineer in TF2 should get a revolver? Tell us why you think he should.
I think that he should get his invincible dick back.
Look, he does deserve his invincible dick, but it needs to. We need it gone for balance reasons.
Just give him a titanium cod piece. That way he has an explanation as to why he's got the invincible dick. Anywho, actual comment challenge of the day.
They really do need to give him a revolver, though.
Yeah, actual comment challenge of the day. What kind of deterrence does the campaign you play in have to keep players from just robbing every merchant? Because there's a lot of different ways. Like I said, I have a guild that most of the merchants are a part of. I usually signify them by wearing shirts that have are usually purple with gold embroidery. It could be whatever design they want, but purple and gold is the sign of the Merchants Guild. And pissing one off has a chance of getting you blacklisted from most shops in the world. That's my deterrent.
My deterrent is I'm not a bad person,
That's
and
fair.
I don't play explicitly bad people.
Yeah, I think my way is a decent alternative to the, every shopkeep is a level 20 adventurer that's been retired. Because while that is a fun thing to put, but having every single one be a level 20...
Having every shopkeep being a retired level 25 fighter with 17 different sets of knitted swords gets a little tiring.
Yeah, I think that having NPCs be powerful former adventurers should be done very selectively. Like, maybe 2 or 3 in the world at most. I think taking Red Dragon in as example, Redbeard, or Greybeard, Redbeard. Well, the one who actually owns the titular Red Dragon Inn is a retired adventurer. That's why his gimmick is recalling all the adventures he had.
Yeah.
I think that kind of thing is good. It's just don't have it be every single shopkeep.
Yeah, exactly.
Magic shopkeeps, it's understandable for them to have like some kind of adventuring, like some kind of arcane levels, since you gotta be a practitioner in order to enchant things. Like that's a reasonable thing.
I'm using alcohol wipes right now to clean up the wrist pad on my mouse pad.
Oh, neat. Anywho, so yeah, those are a couple deterrents. I'd love to hear what your deterrents to keep players from just, harassing the people, the NPCs are. And with that out of the way, there's all I have to say, but good night, everybody.
Bye.